Rogers here, and in this video I have some huge news for you. I'm not going to beat around the bush. Let's dive right into it. In this new decade in 2020, I am starting a new company, introducing to you Brighter Plumbing. Indeed, it's true, I'm starting Brighter Plumbing. This does not mean I'm getting rid of Brighter Living. What it means is I am starting a separate company to work synergistically with one another. Two companies working together. Brighter Living, of course, being the manufactured housing industry. We buy real estate and the land underneath that real estate. And then Brighter Plumbing being a plumbing company. Now, why are we doing this? There's a lot of reasons, and I'll go into a few of them right now. Firstly, real estate right now, because interest rates are low, because the economy is skyrocketing, and for a host of other reasons, real estate right now is very expensive. We're talking about 10 to even 20 or even 25 times earnings in certain cases for institutional grade real estate, and that includes manufactured housing communities, aka mobile home parks. I don't know about you, but I'm not super interested in buying something that would potentially take 25 years to pay off. I'll be old by then, I'll have a ton of gray hair, right? So that's one reason. Right now, mobile home parks are very, very expensive to buy. But there's a lot of other reasons as well. Firstly, I'll tell you a quick little story. In fall of 2019, I operated as the property manager at our park in Nebraska for about 3 months. I did so for a lot of reasons, one of which is that I knew I wanted to get hands-on experience so that I really understood the sector and the asset class super well, so that in the future when I talked to investors or banks or sellers, that I knew the language of the game, that I had experience, hands-on experience. This meant that I was doing everything from working on air conditioning units and heaters, to mowing the lawns, to grading the roads. This means I was doing everything, including the plumbing, some pretty unsexy work, I'll be the first to admit. And it was from that experience as the operator of the park that I gained a newfound interest in the plumbing sector. And I say interest is probably the wrong word. What it really was it was a newfound respect for the importance of plumbing and the potential profitability of plumbing. There was one particular day I was working on a unit, their sewer lines and really all of their lines were clogged up, and I was working on this situation and I was having a tough time getting it figured out, and finally I had a couple other things going on. I called up a plumbing company. About an hour later, the plumber came out, took him about 10 minutes, he got the situation fixed. Next week, I open up the mailbox, there's a bill, 150 bucks. And in Nebraska, things are a lot cheaper than they would be in Los Angeles or Florida or New York City. I've been told repeatedly that in those states, in big metros, that might have been $300 or more. People pay for plumbing because they don't want to do it and they don't know how to fix it. And it got me interested in that sector. Look, there's something else too. The multiples for buying a service-based business, think plumbing or property management or landscaping, or any of these other services that you might provide, you can buy these businesses at around 2 to 4 times EBITDA or earnings. Whereas real estate, as I talked about, right now is trading at between 8 to 25 times earnings. And what this really means pretty simply is you can pay off the debt faster, and in the interim when you're paying off that debt by, again, using leverage to buy these different businesses, your debt service coverage ratio, aka your DSCR, if you structure the deal appropriately, can be well over 200%. And for those of you who are real estate investors, tell me about how many deals that you found where you use 60 to 80% leverage that have a 200+% DSCR. Comment below if you found that kind of a deal. It's pretty rare, and it's very unlikely to happen, especially in this current climate. So that's another thing. Rolling up a service-based business, in my opinion, right now is probably the best thing an acquisitions entrepreneur could be doing. My game plan is pretty simple. Buy plumbing companies, buy real estate. Use the cash flow from the plumbing companies to help me buy more real estate. Real estate is a hard asset, it's safe, it's very investor friendly, it's very predictable. The plumbing sector, a little bit more operationally intensive, a bit more intense to solve, but when you get it right, you can make a lot more money faster. That's the simple reality. If you've studied the financial statements of both real estate investments as well as, say, a plumbing business or another type of service-based business, you know what I mean. Likewise, I love getting into businesses where the demand never goes away. Let's talk about it for a second, right? Think of the mobile home park sector, aka the manufactured housing sector. This is affordable housing, and let's just be frank, I don't care if it's a bull market or a bear market, you're always gonna wanna live indoors. And if you live in a place like at the minute where I do in Nebraska, where it happens to be about 25 degrees outside, you don't even have a choice. You try to go live outside, you'll be dead in 3 days, maybe less, right? So you have to live somewhere. Hence why I believe in investing in mobile home parks. It's a solid investment. I don't care if it's a good economy or a bad economy, you're gonna wanna live indoors. Let's talk about plumbing now. If you have a pipe leak and I don't know where water is going all over the place in your kitchen, do you really have a choice as to whether or not you need to call a plumber? No, you pretty much have a huge problem that needs to get solved now. Let's say your sewer line is clogged up. How long are you gonna really go with that problem festering? Not very long. You're gonna call a professional to get that situation handled. Plumbing is another sector similar to the mobile home park space where the demand is consistent in both bull and bear markets. That doesn't mean it's exactly the same, but it's pretty consistent. It's recession resistant. Recession proof, I don't really think anything is truly recession proof, but it's recession resistant. And likewise, robots will never be able to take over the plumbing sector. It's just not gonna happen. And so those are some of the reasons that we're getting into the plumbing business. That's why I founded Brighter Plumbing. And in a future video, I'm gonna talk to you more about the steps I'm taking right now in January of 2020, the time of shooting this. You may be seeing this video a little bit into the future further, but as of January 2020, I am humping, hustling, working extremely hard to get this business off the ground, and I'm extremely optimistic that it's gonna do incredible things in not only 2020, but throughout this entire decade. That's the kind of business I'm looking to build here. I'm extremely excited about how these companies are gonna work synergistically together, and likewise, another synergy that the plumbing business and the mobile home park space have in working together is that the number one cost for a mobile home park, it's the utilities. It's the utilities. Specifically, if you have to repipe all the water lines or all the sewer lines for a mobile home park, that's a 6-figure expenditure. And so I thought to myself, if I'm gonna have to eventually spend 6 figures to renovate and update utilities lines, sewer or water lines, wouldn't it be nice if I owned the company that could do that work so that Peter could pay Paul and I could be both Peter and Paul, right? That's really the game I'm trying to play here, and that is just another reason why I'm founding Brighter Plumbing. Hey, hopefully you've liked that video. If you have, be sure to thumbs the video up. It helps me keep making more videos for you. If you haven't yet, subscribe if you want to hear about an individual who's going out, and I'm that individual who's going out buying businesses, and if you want to talk about finance and real estate and buying businesses, then definitely subscribe to the channel. And hey, I'd love to hear what you think. Share in the comments below. Tell me what you're thinking, and I'll talk to you in an upcoming video.